Okay, guys, with the BMW K1600B GT Grand America. This is a 2023, so this will probably work for pretty much any of these that are similar. This is another way that I figured out how to mount a wireless charger onto the bike. So I was thinking about this for a while and trying to figure it out. I really didn't like the ones that I was seeing on the market right now. So what I did is try to figure a new place and how to mount it in the center stem, because as you guys know, in the center of that stem, if you've ever taken the BMW logo off of here, you'll see that in the middle of that is threaded. And it happens to be that it's a M10 thread, which is actually the same threading that goes in here. That's how I figured it out. I pulled out the bolt here, and just to try it one day, I was curious. I pulled this bolt out, put it in that threaded hole in the middle here, and it actually is the same threading and thread pattern and everything, so it worked. So what I did was I bought the track form aluminum mount that actually they say goes here. So it goes here in place of this bolt with that aluminum piece sticking out with the ball, so you can mount your stuff here. But I didn't want it up here. I didn't want it that high, and it was gonna be a little bit too intrusive in the way for me to see my TFT screen. So what I did was I bought the track form mount, mounted it here down into the center hole, got a lock washer just to give it extra pressure to hold it, tightened it down, and I bought a ram mount short arm, and I bought the quad lock 1-inch ball receiver. Okay, so that way you could use it on this, because as you guys know, the quad lock balls are a little smaller than the 1 inches that you could use on these. But quad lock sells the 1-inch ball mount adapter. So basically, it's the track form aluminum mount, a ram mount short arm. I mean, you guys could get it any length you want, however you want to configure it. I know they make these in, like, I think 3 different sizes. So that's up to you. And I put it onto the adapter for the quad lock 1-inch ball mount. And I also did the dampener for the vibration and my wireless charger. Took the cable, as you see there. Took the cable, ran it through here, tightened it up here, and I actually took this panel off and loosened this panel up. Okay, by removing the seat, you loosen up the bolts here, the screws here actually, and all these screws. You take this one off, and you can run it in between the paneling here into the battery that's underneath the seat. So basically, it works. I also took liberty of mounting my XM antenna up here too, because since I had this apart, I figured let me run the XM antenna here, because as you guys know, anybody with this bike, the XM reception is absolutely horrible on these things. So I moved it up here, and it seems to be working pretty well. So pretty much that's the setup I did here. And if you're wondering what is this black here that is covering the hole, because if you don't put this here, you're just gonna have a big opening with the stem sticking out. So what I did actually, and I'll show you right now, is I went to Home Depot, and you guys are probably familiar with these kneeling pads from Home Depot. They're like 14 bucks. I actually cut a piece out of it. I put the BMW emblem here and traced it out and cut it so it's the exact fit that's on the bike. And what I'll do is, this won't go to waste. I'll probably just cut a straight line down this thing here, and I can still use the kneeling pad, so it's not gonna be a waste. I'm just gonna lose a little bit of area here because I'm gonna cut it straight down here. And then this is the quad lock 1-inch ball adapter, so that way you guys can see what it is exactly that I got, okay? And on this adapter, you could put on, you know, your charger, or if you're not using a charger, whatever you want, but basically you can mount anything from quad lock onto that, obviously. And then these are the track form. This is the track form mount that I received. So it comes with this ball, and then I got also the 1-inch ball. So you just remove that one and then put that one on, and there you go, all set. And like I said, this thread pattern is the same thread pattern that's on the handlebars. So you guys could pretty much, whatever fits in here will fit in that threaded down the middle. Because as you know, the stem mounts that not track form, I apologize, quad lock makes, it won't fit in that hole because it's threaded. So I found this to be the best way to do it, and this thing is solid, man. This thing ain't going anywhere. So pretty much when you go, this is just the case, just to show you guys, but this is pretty much, oh, it's upside down. This is pretty much how it will go. And when I sit on the bike, obviously you can adjust it to whatever way you guys want, but when I sit on the bike, pretty much that's my view. Right there, that's my view. So it's not blocking the TFT screen at all. So you could also mount this panoramic if you want, but then I think you have to change the way your charger is set, because when I try to put it in panoramic, for some reason the charger won't turn on. So you would have to probably flip around your charger so that way it'll turn on. But you could do it this way, panoramic, or do it this way. This way is obviously better for a lot of people know that all your menus and everything on your phones is this way. Even if you switch it this way, your menus still stay upright basically. So I found this way to be the best for me, but that's my opinion, and that's just the way I feel. But what you guys could do is, you set it up to whichever way you want, and it works pretty well. So as you can see there, give you a close-up look with that neoprene. Like I said, get the kneeling pad from like Home Depot, cut it out in a circle, trace the BMW logo, and that logo pops out really easy, guys. You just got to get around the edge and it pulls out, and you could put it back in if you want, so it's not like something you're gonna break taking it off. Just pull it pretty good and it'll pop off. Put the stem in with the ball, stuffed it in with the neoprene foam that's in there. So now this is nice and tight, so it'll keep water and everything out. So it gives it a nice seal action, and it looks pretty clean. It may not look it too much on the video, but it keeps it clean. And like I said, ram mount 1-inch arm. Like I said, these come in 3 different lengths, but any taller and you're really gonna probably get in the way of your TFT screen. The quad lock 1-inch ball adapter, and I mounted the charger and everything on it. And like I said, I ran the cable down through here, tied it to this, ran it through the side, all the way into the battery. And I also did buy the smart USB adapter, so that way it turns on and off with the bike. So it picks up, what it'll do, it'll pick up the power. And that way you don't burn out your battery or anything when this thing turns on and it stays on. So I suggest you guys do the same also. And you could, that way when you turn off the bike, it will shut off after like a couple minutes. It'll detect that there's no power, and it'll shut it off. And there's like 3 different settings that you guys could set. Maybe, instead of talking about it, I'll just show you actually real quick. I think this thing's locked. So you guys could do is, put it down real quick. So what you guys could do, so basically you got to remove these 4 screws here also, and just move this up a little bit just so you could get the cabling underneath it. You take these screws off, and then this will allow you to pull this panel off. And then this one right here, you got to remove this screw here, that screw down there, and then when you remove this, there's another screw here, and then this piece slides back and it comes off easily. Just be careful not to yank so much, because the FM antenna is under here attached to a cable that plugs in under there. So just pull it off, but be careful not to rip it all the way back. Unplug it, remove it, and then you just pull this panel back a little bit, and then you can run the cabling. Pretty much it goes in between this piece and this piece underneath, all the way. And then I have it into my battery and everything. And then this piece here, you can set this to on, off, or auto, and this is what detects the power. So like right now, I just hit it on auto and it's off because the bike is not on and running. Now, the only thing I did notice is that when you hook it up to the trickle charger or whatever, it'll detect the power for some reason and turn it on. So I just turned this off up here. So that way when it's on the trickle charger, this will turn off. I'll just manually turn it off back here. But when you're riding, obviously, when you're riding, it's not on the trickle charger, and it'll turn on and off when you have it set to the auto. And then I just took this piece here, stuffed it right down here, and it's all set to go. And then just ran the cabling here, a little messy. I also added my Gerbing heater. I bought the panel mount and just pretty much mounted it here on the side panel, so that way I could just take this off, plug it in, and just ran the cabling under here and attached it also as well. So if you guys have any questions or anything, just message me on YouTube, and I'll try to answer them. But pretty much I'm giving you all the information you need to know. If you're very familiar with the quad lock, then this part won't be hard for you to figure out at all. But now there's a new way, because I haven't seen anybody do it this way yet. I've seen one guy do it, but it was like, I guess like a specialty item or something that the guy's not making anymore. So this way, these pieces you could buy, and it took me maybe like 2 days to get it from Amazon. So like I said, the same screw that fits in here is the same one that goes in here. So Trackform makes that goes in here, but it'll work perfectly in there. So as you can see, and then just stuff in with the neoprene pad or whatever else you want to use. I found the neoprene pad to work the best because it'll actually, since it's so malleable, you can stuff it in there real good, and then like it goes into the edges real good, nice and clean. And it'll make it watertight too, because water's not going to get in there, because it's a tight fit around here and around the stem from Trackform, as you can see there. And then once again, just get the 1-inch arm and get the 1-inch ball adapter from Quad Lock. And pretty much you could do this setup and whatever you want to do, however you want to set it up. I mean, at that point, you could probably get creative and mount it different ways or make it come out closer, but then you have an issue with filling up. So obviously you got to think about all that stuff, but I found this to be the best way to do it. And I think this piece here on Amazon, the Trackform mount, was about $25. I think the Ram mount was like under 20 bucks. And then I already had the Quad Lock that I had from my other bike and everything, but it was a handlebar mount, but I just adapted everything to this. So hopefully this helps you guys out, who's ever out there with a K1600, and this gives you another idea of where to mount it, and hopefully it helps you guys out. I try to always, something I find and works well, I always try to post it, just see, hopefully it helps somebody else out, because you never know. Somebody might be trying to figure out what to use there and make it clean, and I found this to be the cleanest for me. There might be someone else out there with something cleaner, but I haven't seen anything on the on any of YouTube or anything like that. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and like I said, any questions or whatever, just message me on YouTube. All right, take care. Also, one more thing I forgot to mention, that with the 1-inch ball adapter from Quad Lock, I did also add this piece here to give me that extra length here, because if not, it'll be like right here connected. I'm not sure what they call it, but it's like an elbow that allows you, it comes like basically, if you guys get a good idea there, it's an elbow that'll allow you also to adjust this one, so that way it comes up, down, whatever. So also you might want to get yourself the elbow piece and then just put them together. Like I said, if you're familiar with Quad Lock, you're familiar with all these pieces, and you just got to get this extra elbow also as well. That way it gives you this length so it stands out, because if not, then if you could imagine, this piece wouldn't be here, and this whole piece would be directly onto like right here. So I like it this way for my taste. I mean, you guys could try it. If you don't want to get the elbow, you could try it out and see if it's good for you. If it is, then you're good. But I think that if you don't have this extra length here, if you do want to put your phone in a panoramic way, because of the angle of these bars, you're going to be too close here and it won't allow you to do it. That's why I kind of went out this way, because I wanted also the ability that if I ever do want to go panoramic, at least I have the space up here from here to here, which is wider than from here to here, as you can tell. So suggestion, it's up to you guys. If you're going to plan on leaving it in the upright, then you don't need it. But it's not a bad setup. I would definitely suggest just getting this piece too. I mean, it's not a lot of money. It's probably less than 20 bucks, $15, whatever it is. And just get that elbow. Don't quote me on the price because I'm not sure. But this elbow piece definitely is good to have also. And then it goes in between the 1-inch ball mount, and then you just pretty much screw it all together, and then you can hook it up to your vibration dampener thing there and your charger. All right, guys. All right, take care.